Happy Haunting. Okay, on to Happy Haunting. That's the next block we're going to do. This is Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing. I pulled my fabric. There's really not much that you're going to need. Piece of fabric, your batting, and your thread. We're going to use black for the quilting stitch. And I am going to use my 7x12 magnetic hoop because it is 5x7. But that's going to bump us into, is that what I said? Yeah. You can do the 7x12 magnetic, the 5x7, or the 8x12. Wait. 5x7. That'll go 5.5. Sorry, I had to stop the video because it fits fine in the 5x7. So I'm just going to use the 5x7. So let's go ahead and use this because our final cut size is 4.5 by 6.5. You could do it in the 7x12, but if I did that, I would turn it this way, which I mean is totally fine. So I have my new piece of muslin. When I'm doing the 5x7 hoop, I like my muslin to be 9 inches wide. And then with the excess, let's put this over here. If you could see my sewing room right now. I love these Wonder Clips. These are what I use to roll up my stabilizer. I like to roll it up and clip it because this is 90 inches and that's a lot. So this is like keeping it on a roll. And I'm not going to make you watch this. I'm going to pause the video. I'll roll this all up and then we'll hoop. Okay, I'm back. This is all rolled up. I'm going to go ahead and hoop up in my 5x7. Whoop. Got magnets on here already. Big magnets, top and bottom. You can get a blood blister from these, so make sure your fingers do not get in the way. Okay, we're hooped and ready to go. I have a new bobbin in my machine. I just put a new needle in my machine too. Let's take this over. As far as colors go, the orange with the triangle is marmalade. The lighter orange is going to be mango smoothie. So these two oranges and a white. And I think that's going to be it. So we'll take those over to the machine too. And let's get stitching. My goal this morning is to finish up all my homework. I did do my flying geese last night. I am going to redo one of them. I did the first one without the quilting stitch. Yes, I know. How does that happen? I don't know. That is like me getting excited. Sometimes, do you ever just get excited to pull something out of the hoop? You're like, I'm done. And then you're not really done. That's what I did. I'm done. But I wasn't done. And then I looked at it and went, oh, I didn't do my quilting stitch and it was already out of the hoop. So I'm just going to redo it. Pumpkins and potions. And when I have an oopsie, I put it in the back of my quilt, and the back of my quilt looks special. So I'm just noticing here that I forgot to put horizontal in. So I will add that to the spreadsheet as I revamp it. Black is our quilting stitch centered. These are our hoops. I'm going to go ahead and circle 5x7 because that's the one I'm going to be using. But you could do any of those, whatever you have. Background quilting, Halloween 11. And we are doing the 4x6 horizontal. I don't want to say all the time, always, but most of the time the horizontal is first and then the vertical. So I'm going to go ahead and put the horizontal in, set it, and then we're going to add to that Happy Haunting is the design we're doing right now. So add, don't go home. I don't know why my finger was hovering over that button. I have a pumpkins and potions. This is all the stuff I'm working on right now. And we're doing Happy Haunting, which is right here. Go ahead and set it. It's centered. I'm going to go ahead. I already chose my 5x7 hoop. But if you haven't done that yet, go to your settings button, which is the notebook paper. Choose your hoop size. If your embroidery arm is on, you should go right to your embroidery editing options or your settings options. And I'm going to touch embroidery. It will combine my two designs. And now I'm going to go layout, move, and I'm going to scoot it up and save myself a whole 1/2 inch, something like that. Okay, we're ready to stitch. Layout, that's going to show you what you're stitching out with the colors coming up. This button right here, that's where you go forwards and backwards colors. I'm going to do that because we're going to skip some steps here. First thing we're going to do, placement stitch for our batting. I'm going to grab my spray tent and my spray. Oh God, I just hit my knee. Painful. Okay, I'm putting away. You know how I feel about my sleeves once they're done. I love ripping off the sticker and putting it away. And then I feel like, oh my goodness, I'm accomplishing something. There's my spray tent. This is my dime spray tent right here. This is what I use to spray in. I'm going to put my batting with the wrong side up. And that's the side that is a little bit nubbier. Here's my background fabric. I'm going to put that in my spray tent too. The spray I like to use is Gnold KK100. And we're going to give it a little spritz. We're not going to get crazy. We keep this in the store. I want to say it is just a little. I think it's $14.99 a bottle, and it's worth it. I probably go through maybe 2 cans a year, something like that. I'm going to lay this down right inside that stitch line. It should fit right in there if you're cutting it to size. And then I'm going to grab my background fabric and I'm going to center it to this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Feel with your fingers. You can feel that batting. Sometimes I have 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches, and I don't even care about that because Kimberbell is generous with its cuts. So we're going to skip the next couple of steps. That's the tack down for the batting, and then you're supposed to trim, but we already have it cut to size. That is the background placement line. We already placed our background. That's our background tack down, and we want to do this because you're going to fussy cut to this tack down line. And when I say fussy cut, you're not cutting exactly on it. You don't want to do that because it rarely, I don't know if it's ever a perfect fit. Tickle your fabric, meaning just pull it taut towards the edges. And you know what I was thinking? I have so many stilettos. I don't think I engage in risky behavior, but my hands and fingers are always kind of underneath this area, and I have stilettos, so I'm going to get my stiletto out. This is my Tula Pink stiletto, and that way if I need to hold something down, I can just hold it down with this, and if the needle or this black screw hits anything, it'll hit my stiletto, and then I'll be fine. I was doing my flying geese going, why am I doing this? Why am I getting my fingers near where they could be injured? Take out your mango smoothie or whatever thread. That thread color did not make a difference. You could use anything. Just use something that contrasts. And let's go ahead and put in our black thread. Our black thread is going to do the quilting stitch. If you want to see it, do something contrasting. My last needle I had in was kind of thumpy. And I thought it was like brand new, but maybe it wasn't. Because this one doesn't sound thumpy. Oh. For a second, I was like, is this right? Oh, and the other thing, I'm going to change my bobbin out. Because I'm on black with black thread. And I think I'm going to get like a little bit of a pin dot. So put a black bobbin in for this. My bobbins are almost all Filtech pre-wound bobbins unless I need like a specific color. But I can't tell. Is there a pin dot there? Who cares? You don't want a pin dot. We don't want to wait and see. just put your black in right now, and you know you won't get a pin dot. You're just going to get, if you do get a pin dot, it'll be a black, and that's, you won't see that. It's not going to bother you. I'm going to go back 10 stitches and start. There we go. Yeah, and can you see the difference? You can see the white pin dot there, and then over here you don't see anything except black and black. It has nothing to do with your machine being broken, tension issues. It's just that needle's going through and it's leaving a hole, and you're seeing that white bobbin thread. Are those like the cutest little ghosts ever? Adorable. And again, see the difference between the black bobbin and the white bobbin? That upper left-hand corner had that white bobbin in there. So let's go ahead and do happy haunting. And sometimes I leave the white bobbin. Sometimes it doesn't make a difference. But when you're in black fabric with black thread on the top, just go ahead and change it out. Don't put yourself through the grief. Okay, the triangle. Triangle is marmalade. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the darker of the oranges that came in the thread set, which is marmalade. Marmalade. There we go. This is 5 minutes of stitching. So while it's doing this, I think I am going to do a little bit of piecing of my back, and you can just kind of watch this. Good. Oh, and you know what? I didn't change that back out to a black bobbin, and it looks fine. I'm just gonna leave it. I mean, to a white bobbin. Looks fine with the black in there. Okay, we're on our G. When you're done with this, you're just going to go ahead and hit start again, and it is going to stitch the inner border fill. So I did this block twice. I did it with the purple, which is the one that I'm going to use. And then I did it here with the with the original gray that it called for, but I put purple stars in here. I think it was supposed to be black stars. So this one, because I had the back already cut, this one's going to go in the back of my quilt. This one's going to go in the front. So if you do stitch some extra stuffs, or if you have an oopsie, just put it in the back of the quilt. And it'll make it special. If you're doing what I'm doing, which I'm piecing the back. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit start. It is going to do, this is called the inner border fill. And then we're going to do the mango smoothie for the outer border accent. So just go ahead and stitch this. I am just working on the back of my quilt. Interrupting you again. Another thing I did was when I had the flying geese, I had tons of scraps. I hoarded them, and I turned them all into these. Are these called? These are just your squares, right? Your half square triangles, and then you turn them into these. I'm not a quilter. Am I calling them the wrong things? So I just kept them all, sewed them together, and then I made them nice and square, and then I'm going to use these in the back of my quilt too. It'll just make it look a little more special and fun. All right, let's go ahead and put in mango smoothie. Mango smoothie for your outer border. And then we just have to do the stitching in white. I'm going to make sure I change my bobbin back out to my white pre-wound. But I'm going to put in my mango smoothie. This is just a minute of stitching. And then we're going to stitch the scroll detail. And we're going to switch back out to our white bobbin. I'm gonna make a pinwheel. Let's see if it works. Pinwheel. Okay, there we go. So we'll make a pinwheel out of those half square triangles and squares. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change up my bobbin thread. Oh, that looks so cute. It's just like a little, do you call that a running stitch, a bean stitch? Obviously, I don't know the technical names for anything. Like a lot of you, I'm semi-self-taught. I do try to absorb information from people. So when I hear something, I try to remember it. It's funny because I feel, sometimes I feel like a stupid person because I feel like I can't remember anything. I'll watch a movie and I'll tell somebody, oh my God, that movie's so great. You have to watch it. And then I can't even tell them what it's about. But when it comes to sewing, I don't want to say I'm a sponge, but I remember a lot more. And it's strange to me that my brain just goes, oh, that's valuable. Remember that. Or things at the store. I'll remember things at the store too. Okay, 4 minutes of stitching. Let it go. And then we're almost done with this. The next block we're going to be doing is the chandelier. I'm just finishing up this. This is from that leftover fabric. Oh my God, it's so cute. I don't know if it looks great, but this is just from that leftover fabric, and I just made a little pinwheel, and this will go in the back of my quilt. So just a little piecing here or there. We are done with Happy Haunting. Let's go ahead and get ready for the chandelier. Happy Haunting. Chandelier. I don't even know what size chandelier is. Here is my fabric for chandelier. We are doing chandelier, which is 6 by 8, which means let's go 7 by 12. So let me grab my 7 by 12 hoop. I just have been using these two hoops like crazy, and they seem to fit most of what I'm working on. Again, this is the one that's going to go in the back of my quilt. I think it came out super cute. And imagine if I had used glow-in-the-dark thread, which I didn't. So we actually sold out of all our glow-in-the-dark thread, and everything's reordered, and I'm waiting for it. And I'm like, why wasn't I more prepared to have that all ready for this quilt? And I didn't, but I'll get it this week, and then I will put it in the rest of the quilt. It's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. Although I love perfect. I do. I prefer perfect to non-perfect. But when it's not perfect, I just live with it. I'm like okay with that too. But Lori came into the store, one of our local gals, and she is using the, and she posted something on, I think, the Sew Along group. She's using the Isacord glow-in-the-dark thread. I think that it really is like the Amon thread. And, oh my God, it looked so good. It looked so good, Lori. Oop. Okay, here we go. Hooped up. Let me go ahead and slide this onto the machine. Got a white bobbin in there. Let's grab our spreadsheet and our fabric. And what thread are we using? Should we grab that too? Looks like we're doing black and buttermilk. Here's my buttermilk right here, and black is already on the machine. And as far as quilting goes, this is our background fabric right here. So you can either use, if you want it to blend, well, let's see what they're calling for. It's the white with the line through it, which I think is going to be linen. Linen. Cream, which is linen. Okay, so I'm going to grab my linen. Black is over at my machine. My buttermilk. These are from the fabric kit. And I'm going to put that in front of the machine. Let's come on over. All right. Home clears the screen. We are using Halloween 9, 6 by 8. Halloween 9. I have a Pumpkins and Potions folder with a background quilting folder with a Halloween 9 folder. I'm PES, that's what my machine speaks, and we want the 6 by 8 design. Go ahead and set it. We're going to add, and you're adding the chandelier. So I'm in my upper USB, Pumpkins and Potions. I have a folder that I just called PES where I put all my PES designs. There's my chandelier. I think there's only one. Let's see. And I'm just going to check. It calls for the 5 by 7 in case there was more than one. Sometimes they have multiples of the design. And this just says to be centered, so you don't move anything. I am going to choose my hoop size because I can see my 5 by 7 right here. So I'm going to go home. and I'm using a 7 by 12. Okay. And don't move it in this. This is your main edit page. See, you have all those editing options. Touch embroidery. It will combine the two designs, and then you can move it. And you don't have to move it, but you're wasting all that. If you're using stabilizer, all that stabilizer in the top and the bottom. So if you are using stabilizer and you're using a 12-inch roll and you're running it, I know it's cumbersome, right, to like leave it on the roll, but leaving it on the roll allows you to save a lot. There's less waste. So I'm going to go move. My hoop is on the machine, so it's not going to bump out, and then we're ready to go with our next embroidery, and this is going to be up towards the top. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay. I used to pre-cut all my stabilizer. I'd have like pre-cut sizes ready to go. I just grab and go, and now I just leave it. And when I do these quilts, I do it on muslin. So muslin's not the best support for some of your embroideries, but it's great for this because it just provides you a base. Because you're going to add your batting. Here's my batting right here. And you are going to be adding your background fabric, which has shape flex on it. So there's plenty there to support your embroidery stitches. Does that make sense? Let me grab my spray tent. Oh my goodness. Love my spray tent. Look how icky it's looking. It's gross. If you have been stitching with me for a while, you will remember my spray box, which every time I took it out, I apologized to people. I didn't want them to be traumatized because it was so disgusting. Okay, I'm spraying my batting. Just spraying in your spray tent's just going to keep it from all that aerosol from going all over your room. I'm going to put this over here. And now I'm going to spray my background fabric. This is a lighter color, so you want to make sure when you're looking back here, there's no dark threads. There's nothing sandwiched between your shape flex and your fabric, because you just don't want that shadowing through. And for me, it's always a red thread. I don't know how or where they come from, but that's always what's sandwiched in between. Okay, I want a color that I can see, so I'm going to take out my white. And how about I just use... I just really dig the mango smoothie. Let's call it creamsicle. First thing it's going to do is the placement stitch, and I'm going to go ahead and touch this button here, and that's going to give me where I can go forward and backward stitches and show me my stitch out. Or you can just do the layout button. This is placement stitch for your batting. If you are cutting your batting to size, you cut your batting the same size as the quilting design that you're choosing. See, 4x6, batting size is 4x6. 6x8 size, batting size is 6x8. So that's how I choose that. That's how I figure out how big to cut my batting. It saves so much time pre-cutting your batting, because if you didn't pre-cut it, you would be laying it down, and then you'd have to do the next step, which is the batting tack down, and then you would have to trim. But we're just going to lay that down, and then we're going to lay our background fabric right on top of it. You want about an inch all the way around, about an inch. And you can feel, okay? We're going to skip steps. This is batting tack down, don't need it. Background placement, don't need it. Background tack down, need it. Turquoise is placement. Orange is tack down. So you're not putting in your orange, well, mine just happens to be orange, but you're not putting in turquoise and then switching to orange and then switching to turquoise and switching to orange. For the Kimberbell designs, the turquoise just means that's going to be your placement, and the orange is going to be your tack down. If you want to switch back and forth to those colors, you can, but you don't need to. And sometimes you don't want this orange tack down. Like, you don't want that on your orange fabric because you want to be able to see it so you can fussy cut to it. Okay, we are going to do our quilting stitch. Look at your screen. Make sure it shows your quilting stitch. Sometimes I am not paying attention and I forget to fast forward. And then I'm like, wait a minute. It should be my quilting stitch, and then it isn't. So if you look at your screen, quilting stitch, and that's usually going to be in that green color too. Does not mean you need to put the green in. It's just showing you that's their color code. Here we go. And I'm doing linen. I think that's already in the spreadsheet. Yes, it is. 5 minutes of stitching. This gives you a little bit of time. So go do something else. Or you can sit and be mesmerized by your embroidery machine. I've been mesmerized by my embroidery machine for 20 years now. I can't even believe I'm saying that I've been embroidering for 20 years. That sounds crazy. quilting. And once we're done with the quilting, it says after quilting, go to the embroidery instructions. And I also put it on your spreadsheet. So it'll tell you quilt first, quilt first, quilt first. Some of the ones where you piece in the hoop, those are the ones that usually quilt last. So thread color is not going to make a difference. So we're going to do the chandelier placement line. You're going to be laying down this piece of fabric right here. So here we go. Wants to do the chandelier placement line. I'm going to go ahead and just put black in because that's the first color that's going to make a difference. And because it's going to be doing a whole bunch of black stitching, let's just put in our black bobbin and not worry about it. Okay? I know it doesn't say that in the instructions, but sometimes it's just better to put in that black bobbin and not think about it. And let's put in our black thread. I have a king cone of black thread too that it lives on my machine. Oh, I moved it. Okay, placement stitch first. Go ahead and give this a little shot of spray. It did ask you to put shape flex on the back. Do you remember how like popular crystal chandeliers were? I don't even know if they still are, but I remember my mom, that would be like like nobody has crystal chandeliers in Korea, I don't think. I've never seen one there. But we had one in our house, and like I remember my mom taking off all those little chandelier pieces. This is your tack down. I'm going to kind of make sure my fabric doesn't scoot around. And then she'd like wash them. And because they get dusty. Oh my goodness. Who's got time to wash all those little dangly chandelier pieces and then hang them up again? She'd put them in like soapy water. Get your trimmers. Because this has a shape flex on the back, I'm going to use my double curved. And I'm really wondering where my new little snips went, because I was kind of enjoying those too. And I ordered some for the store, those new Martelli ones. New to me. Probably not new to you. You probably all have them already. New to me, not new to you. Ooh, ooh. Okay, if you are new to me and new stitching with me, I like to sing. I've got the music in me, but the singing is not very good. It's like the singing, I'm not saying you don't sing well, but you know how you would sing and who cares, right? Nobody hears you. Well, you hear me because I sing in the videos. You know what I wish? I wish I had, my mom was the best cook ever. Yes, I'm throwing down and I'm saying she was better than your mom. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Kidding, not kidding. She was like, my mom was the most amazing cook in the world. And, you know, nowadays, like, my kids will have all these, if my kids miss me, they'll be able to go out and watch like a live feed or something. There's so much video. Maybe like my grandkids can be like, they can learn how to sew watching my videos. Won't that be amazing? So I wish I had videos. I actually had a couple of videos from, we did them with the camcorder. You know, and my mom did some cooking because I was like, I need to know how to make this. So I do have some of that, but not much. I don't know how important it is that that's perfect and down in every little nook and cranny. But it'd be fun to have videos of like my grandmother. I don't have videos of my grandparents at all. Okay. What's next? Black bobbin. If you didn't put one in, I'd put one in now. Stitch the chandelier satin outline and detail. I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. Guess what? 16 minutes of stitching. Find something to do. I'm going to be piecing and I'll just show you what I'm accomplishing. My filming arm doesn't reach all the way over there, so I'm not going to take it over there. I did do it before, but it just kind of gets in the way, ruins my groove. Get you a better view. How's that? All right. So now what we have to do is we're just going to put in the buttermilk. It is going to stitch the little flames. Grab that thread. Oh, and you know what else I'm going to do? I am going to switch my bobbin out. So I have that black bobbin in. Let's go ahead and put in the white one. I'll go back to the very beginning. It was just like 2 or 3 stitches. This is going to be 2 minutes of stitching. And that is your last step. We'll be ready to move on to the next one. We are going to bling this up. You're going to be adding rhinestones and you're going to be adding the beads. Next embroidery we're going to do is boos. So I'm going to grab all the stuff for that. Looks like Boo's going to be in the 5x7, so why don't we go ahead and rehoop over here. Here's our Boo block. In the 5x7, it's going to be 2x4, so we're just going to like bump it up. So it'll be kind of at the top of this. Might have to make it, flip it a little bit. Here's our fabric for Boo. It's just a little itty bitty bit. This is going to be a quickie. I'm going to go ahead and hoop this up. Pump this up here. Let's open this up a little bit. Reclip. I think those are Clover jumbo clips. And we're going to stitch it right up here. And there we go. We're hooped up. We'll put it right up here. Our block is done. The last stitch out on the chandelier is, looks like it is down here at the bottom, and it says not to stitch it. So we are done with this. We'll add all the other goodies to it later on. That was step number 5. Do not stitch this step. This line is for design placement only. Remove the block from the hoop. This one is done. I'm going to put this to the side and let's keep going because all we have left to do is our spider spooky potion, and I am going to go back and do flying geese number 1. So I'm going to slide this onto my hoop, fluff this one, make sure that doesn't get turned under. let's load it up. I don't need that. I mean, I don't need that, but I do need this. As far as colors go for Boo, Boo is on page 13. Here we go. Looks like we're going to do cashmere for our quilting and black. Is the star the shadow or is the star black? Star, I think it's shadow. I could be remembering it wrong. Dark gray. Yes, star is going to be shadow. Alrighty. Come on over. Change to a larger embroidery frame. We were in the 7x12. This design is still up. I do have to scoot that off. And I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to go home, embroidery, and let's load our design. So from our spreadsheet, we want Halloween 11. How do you get this spreadsheet? If you don't have this spreadsheet, you can go to the A1 Sew Along page and just look under files. And all the spreadsheets I've done are there. Some of them still aren't finished because I have UFOs. I don't know how it's to I have failed you. But I constantly update them too. If you are not on Facebook, you can always shoot me an email and I'll send it to you. So this is Boo. Halloween 11. And I am PES. And the size I need is 2x4. This is an itty bitty. Go ahead and set it. The other thing we need to put on there right now. So we're going to add. And we are going to go ahead and add the Boo design. That's in my PAS folder. This is what I have named it. Is Boo only the 5x7? Let's go back. Set. And we are going to touch embroidery. I want to combine these and I'm going to flip them. So I'm going to flip them, but I'm going to flip them. I'm going to flip it in the next screen because they'll be combined. If I try to rotate right now, it's going to rotate one or the other, or I have to color group, and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm going to touch embroidery, layout, rotate, and I'm just going to go 90 degrees to the right so it's in the right orientation for me to read. Now we're going to choose our hoop size. I am using the 5x7 hoop. You can see right here it's going to fit into that hoop. Because it's only 4.5 inches wide. So I'm going to go here and touch that so I know how far up I can move it. And we are going to select our 5x7. I'm going to say okay. And now I'm going to slide my hoop on, because if I slide my hoop on, it won't let me go outside of my embroidery field. And then I can just scoot it up. And then it stops. Okay? Let's go ahead and say okay. You could just stitch it center too. If you want to stitch it center, you can do that. But then you're just wasting but you know, some people don't want to be bothered. And if you don't want to be bothered, that's fine too. I have buttermilk in there. I'm going to go ahead and stitch out just the placement line for the batting first. And I'm going to spray both my batting and my fabric. And I can hang my fabric over a little bit more and scoot this up a little bit because there's probably about 2 inches there. But, you know, you don't have to do that. I just sprayed my batting. I'm going to lay it down in that square. I'm going to spray my background fabric. And I'm going to center this to my batting. You have lots of extra fabric left. Ta-da! We're going to skip some steps. Remember, we don't need all of these. So I'm going to go down here where we can go forward and backward stitches. I'm going to skip the batting placement. That is the fabric placement, or the batting tack down is the orange. The turquoise is the background placement, and that is my tack down. Let's go ahead. I'm going to leave my buttermilk in there because I can fussy cut to that. And it usually starts in the top left, which we flipped. We rotated it, and that's why it started in the top right. Okay, that is your trim line, but you're gonna fussy cut to that. Rarely ever fits like that. Now we wanna do our quilting stitch. Let's change out our thread. We just did buttermilk. I'm changing that out. Now you wanna pick the thread that's gonna make a difference. And for me, that's gonna be cashmere. This is your quilting stitch, and it's just a minute. 1 hot minute of stitching. Can you believe how fast we're going? Spider is next. Holy cow, maybe I'll just get so much done today. Here's your quilting stitch. And then you want shadow. And it does say background tack down. It wants you to match your thread. So get a dark gray bobbin, or you can use the black bobbin too. This is shadow, so it's pretty dark gray. I'm just gonna put in my black bobbin. Okay, change out your bobbin. Should I be showing you the book more? We just did the quilting, and now it's taking us to this step, stitch the background fabric, but we don't need to do that because after the quilting, go to step 3 if you're doing block by block, which is what we're doing. So we're going to skip straight to step 3, which is this step right here, but you did need to put in a matching bobbin. Sometimes I forget this might be your first embroidery. And if it is, then you can stop and pause, and I'll try to remember to explain to you how I got to the step that we're on. So I just put a black bobbin in. I know that doesn't totally color match my dark gray thread, but it's close enough. What you don't want is you don't want to leave in that white one because I think you're going to have some pin dotting. Doesn't mean your machine is broken. At the same time, if you're always seeing that bobbin thread up on the top, you could have tension issues. Whoops. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I'm going to cut that because guess what? We do need to fast forward. That is step 1 in the embroidery. This is step 2 in the embroidery for your background fabric, but we've done all of that. So we're going to go straight to the boo, okay? If you've done the block by block, then you're skipping those 2 steps. And go ahead and stitch out the boo. That's going to be 5 minutes of stitching, and then we're done. While it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for this spider, which is on page 14. This is the spider embroidery that we're going to do next. That is going to be 4 by 6. So we can do it in the top of the 7 by 12 hoop. If it's 4 by 6, I think we can also do it vertically in the, how big is our background quilting? 4 by 4. Let me grab my spider and, oh, you know what, this is, no, that's right, 4 by 4, no, I'm sorry, I was looking down here at Spooky Potion. We're doing this one right here, so we're going to stay in our 5 by 7, okay? So as soon as this one's over, we'll go ahead and rehoop. Stay in your 5 by 7, sorry about that. So grab your fabric and have that ready to go. cute. Spider looks like a really fast stitch out too. You know, I really love this project. Don't get me wrong, I loved Cup of Cheer, but that was a lot of work. So I really like these where you have, you know, there's some work involved, but some of the blocks just go super fast. And that is done. Let's go ahead and hoop up for the spider. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to do this spider block. So we're going to rehoop. It's going to fit in my 5x7. Let's take off our magnets. I'm going to cut, when you have two, cut one off, leave one on. Less chance that you'll stitch it down by accident because you didn't fluff. And I do that, and it makes me so crazy. And now I'm going to put on my boo. I've got to unfold this a little bit. And I'm going to try to refer to the instructions more often. Sometimes I just like, you know, I've been doing this for so long. I'm like, instructions, who needs those? I need them. Okay, here we go. That's on. Stretch this down. You're not really stretching, you're just making it taut. Don't stretch it. And oop. Oop. You don't want it to pucker. Okay, I'm going to go put this on the machine. It's already set up for a 5x7, so I shouldn't get the message that it wants me to change to a bigger hoop. And here's my fabric. We are doing Spider, page 14. It's this little guy right here. I'm going to grab my fabric. I'm going to peel off my Spider tag. And I'm going to feel like, wow, I'm getting so much done. Because that's how I feel when I do that. Okay. Here we go. Let's go home to clear our screen. And we are going to load Halloween 10. Where I get this information is it's all here in the book. I just put it in one handy dandy little spreadsheet all together. So see how it says Halloween 10, your 4x4 design. So I'm going to go embroidery, pocket. And this is the information that I want in my spreadsheet, so I don't have to be flipping back and forth different pages. So the background quilting, Halloween 10, and it's the 4x4 design. PES for my format, and here's 4x4. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. Now I'm going to add my design. Here's my embroidery file. It's this spider from section 2. So I'm going to touch add, pocket, my USB, my pumpkins and potions folder. I added a PES folder there, and I'm looking for my spider. Where are you, little guy? I think this is it. That's him. So we're going to go ahead and select that, touch set, and I'm not going to move it here. I'm going to move it in my layout page. So I'm going to touch embroidery. We're not editing anything here. My hoop's already on. Layout, move, and I'm going to scoot it all the way to the top. When you hit embroidery, whatever designs you have on your main edit page, it turns it into one design. So I can't separate things out here. Now it's one design. And I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to touch this button right here, which is minus and plus. Make sure you've selected your 5x7 hoop so you know exactly how much room you have to work with. And let's go ahead. I already have charcoal in there. I'm just going to leave that in there because I want a color I can see, and I want something that's going to contrast the orange. I also have a charcoal bobbin in there, which I'll probably pull out. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and spray all of these pieces all on the back sides. Here's all my little goodies in my spray tent. Here's my diamond spray tent if you're just joining me. And now I'm going to use my Gnold KK100. I'm going to give this a little shot of spray, and I'll be ready to lay down. Don't get crazy. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's barely coming out. You just need a little bit of tackiness to hold it down. So we're going to put that down, and then let's go ahead and lay down our background fabric too. And you just want to center it to your batting. It does not have to be perfect. You do not have to have exactly 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. You just need a little bit of a border all the way around. And we're going to skip some stitches. So let's go ahead and we are going to skip. I'm going to get out of this screen by saying okay. I'm going to go to this button where you can go minus and plus stitches in whole colors. This orange is the tack down for the batting. This turquoise is the placement for the background, which we already laid down. And this orange is the tack down. You do not have to use orange. You can use whatever color. So I'm just going to keep my shadow in. You just want a color that contrasts so you can fussy cut to it. Tickle your fabric. Make sure it doesn't pucker and it lays flat. Do not get your finger underneath your needle. And then we're going to do the quilting stitch. The quilting stitch is Marmalade. Where did I get that color from? Did I pick it out myself? No. It shows you the quilting stitch right here, the color that it wants you to do, and the orange with the triangle is Marmalade from the kit. It does actually says, I think it maybe says orange or light orange or dark orange, but if you're using the thread kit, that is going to be Marmalade. If you're not sure what color you need to use and you don't want to think about it, then just look at my spreadsheet. You know, don't you think this would look better with like, I'm trying to think. I think this would look better if you could see the spider web. I think the spider web would look cool, don't you? Oh man, I'm getting crazy. I think I'm going to leave in, what color are spider webs? Would it look better in this like silver color, or should I just leave it? I think I want to see it. I just can't decide. Should I do this? Or maybe I'll just do the shadow. I'm getting crazy. I'm leaving the shadow. But because, oh, actually, that's all going to be in black. I'm going to leave my black bobbin in. Hopefully I like it. Here we, oh, I took my shadow out. I'm putting it back in because I think it's going to look good. Right? Seeing the spider web, but are spider webs black? I don't think so. This is as wild and crazy as my life gets, deciding what color I'm going to use for my quilting stitch. But I'm going to go shadow. And then it says, after quilting, go to the embroidery instructions. So we're going to go straight to the first embroidery instruction. And we're going to be laying down that black fabric. Okay, hopefully I like this. I think I'm going to like it. So I'll add that note in there that I used shadow, but I think it gives you some good information, like how you're going to trim it down later, what size hoop might be best for you to use, and these are all suggestions. You don't ever have to do it exactly the way I do it. Okay, I still have my black bobbin in, and I still have shadow in, and it says right here, step 1, color doesn't make a difference, stitch the spider placement line. My fabric is already sprayed. I do have shape flex on the back. You just want this black piece of fabric. You're going to cover the little body. Again, color doesn't make a difference. Right here, color doesn't make a difference. Stitch the spider tack down. So place the spider fabric right side up. I did that. They have such great color instructions. Now we're doing the tack down, and then we're going to trim. All right. Now it says, stitch the spider web, legs, and satin outline. I'm just going to go ahead and hit start. I still have that black bobbin in, which is perfect. And then we're going to stitch the spider detail. That's going to be in linen. And then we will go ahead and I will put in my white bobbin for that. And guess what? That's it. That's going to be the whole thing. Crazy, huh? Oops. Guess what? I also didn't change my thread out. I'm going to leave that there. That is shadow. I was looking at it going, that looks awfully light. I'm going to put my black in now. And that's fine. I hope I'm not leading you astray. Ooh, ooh. Five minutes of stitching, let it go. I'm going to be... Just keep stitching. Right. So now it wants you to do the linen. Let's change out that bobbin thread too. So we're going to be doing this step, stitch the spider detail. It's step number 4. Here's picture number 4, and it shows you the detail. So I love Kimberbell because Kimberbell is so good with their instructions, with the picture illustrations. So I feel like it really is Kimberbell. You can be a beginner and be successful stitching out if you follow just the instructions. And then you have me, and I can guide you through too. Hopefully not making too many mistakes. I feel like I've jumped the gun a couple of times with pumpkins and potions. But here we go. I'm putting in my linen. It's going to do the pretty stitching on the spider's back. And then we're ready for our first potion bottle, which I'm excited about. There we go. 2 minutes of stitching. That's one good looking spider. And then the last thing in the stitch out is number 5. Do not stitch this step. This step is for design placement only. Remove the block. We are done. We are moving on to Spooky Potion Part B, which is tiny. It's in the 4x6. I wonder why I have this why I put this down for the 7x12. Let's go ahead. I'm going to load it first and see if it's going to fit in there, and then we will go and hoop. So we're doing Spooky Potion. I'm going to go ahead and touch my home button. I'll slide this off because we're going to have to rehoop anyways. Let me throw it over there. Embroidery, pocket. This is on page 41. 41. So in our first sew along, we already did part A, which was creating the clear Spooky Potion part. So I'll grab that. But we're going to go in here and we are looking for design Halloween, Pumpkins and Potions, background quilting, Halloween 8. We're going to go ahead and go into embroidery files and pick your format. I'm PES. The design we want is 4x6 right here. I'm going to go ahead and set it, and then we're going to add. And you're adding, so here's our design. That's what we just put in. Now we're going to add this 5x7 potions bottle. Oh, I'll probably bump us out, but let's see. So we're going to go in here. Pumpkins and Potions, PES. And we're doing Potion Bottle 1. Potion Bottle 1. Potion. Here's Potion Bottle. Is that Potion Bottle 1? Yeah, the tops are a little bit different. So you're looking for the one with this top right here. So I'm going to go ahead and load that. Let's go ahead and hit set. We're in the 5x7, so I'm going to change that. This looks like it's totally going to fit. It wants you to center it, so don't move it right here. And we're just going to say embroidery. On this page, I'm going to go ahead and go layout, and I'll bump it up, but I've got to go hoop up my fabric. And I'm going to change this right here just to be 5x7. That'll be changed on the spreadsheet. I'll update it after I'm done with all of these. So we're going to do 5x7. Yeah, you don't need to go into the bigger hoop. I don't know why I put that. I must have been jet lagged. I did that spreadsheet when I was in Korea. All right, let's hoop up again. Okay, I'm going to cut off the boo. Less chance he'll get folded under. Don't forget to fluff your fabric too. Let's put our hoop on. I'm going to unfold some of this fabric. Poppy had one of our wool balls, and Kai is just smiling because Kai and I just go, oh my God, she's so cute, even when she's being naughty. Which we shouldn't be entertained by that, right? Look how cute she is with the wool ball torn up in her mouth. She is so cute, just naughty. Okay, gonna put these on. Okay, let's go ahead and slide that on the machine. I've got a white bobbin in there. I think that's going to be good. Now let's grab the stuff we need. So we need Potion Bottle 1. And I also need Spooky Potion. So we stitched this out for the first sew along. I already trimmed back my threads. You don't have to cut them all, and it doesn't have to be cut perfect, but you don't want those threads peeking out. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Look at, I don't know if you can see this, but my what do you call this stuff? The vinyl still has some goo on it. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to clean that off. I will be right back. Okay, it's cleaned up and ready to go. You're also going to need your little shakers. I'm really excited about using these. Let's see which ones. Does it tell us? Okay, we did part A. We have all of this and the orange bubble confetti as much as desired. Orange bubble. So I have spiders. I think this is orange bubble, right? This is orange bubble confetti and as much as desired. Oh my God, these are the cutest. So I think this is like nail art or something that you can get. Somebody was talking about it. So we're going to go ahead and let's get stitching. I'm going to take this all over to the machine. I don't want to lose anything. And as far as colors go, let's see. It looks like the star is the star. That's shadow, right? Yes. Star is shadow. We need white for the quilting. So white, shadow, and that's it. Let's go. That's why these spreadsheets are work in progress, because sometimes they change as we go. Like I fix them or I add things. There are mistakes. But I do my best. And let's go ahead and we're going to touch this button down here. That'll give us this screen where we can go forwards and backwards stitches. And don't forget, for the quilting, these are not colors that you have to use. Turquoise is placement, orange is tack down, green is quilting. Okay? All right. I have linen in there, which you probably won't see that well, but I'm just going to leave it because it's in. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my fabric and we are going to spray the backs. Let's just spray the backs of all of them. And I'm going to stop there and I'm going to cut because I didn't nudge it up and I like nudging it up. And what I mean is, and remember, you can't move this when you're started stitching. Even if you're one stitch in, you're not going to be able to move. So if you want to nudge it up, 0, stitch 0, get out of this screen, just touch OK, move, and I'm going to nudge it up. There we go. Now I'm going to restart. I'm going to go back to this button, and I'm ready to stitch. Is it going to make that much of a difference? No, but I'm obsessed with saving stabilizer or muslin. Yeah, I would call it an obsession. Okay, here's everything in my spray tent. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray with my KK100, which is all the way across the room now. Ooh, that was heavy-handed, sorry. Sometimes I think spraying is my superpower, and sometimes I don't. Okay, I'm going to grab my batting first. I'm going to lay it right down in this placement line. Going to get rid of this dark thread because we are putting down that white plaid. Now I'm going to take my background fabric and I'm going to make sure there's nothing icky on here like this orange thread. Not that that's going to matter. It's going to get cut off. I'm going to lay it down. You're just going to center it to your fabric. And you want about 1 inch all the way around. Feel around. Make sure that you've got it. And linen's not going to be a great color to fussy cut to because we're not going to be able to see it. I'll go ahead and put in my beautiful mango smoothie because I love you. Mango smoothie, you make me happy. You just want a contrasting color that you're going to be able to fussy cut to. Oh, almost didn't skip the steps. So the first step was placement for the batting. We put it down. Orange, tack down for the batting. Turquoise, placement for the background. Orange, tack down for the background, which we've already laid down. So now I'm just going to go ahead and stitch it. Come on in. Somebody's at the door. Who's at the door? Guess I should know before I say come on in. All right, that is the tack down for the background. Maybe they heard me filming, so they went upstairs. Now we're going to do the quilting stitch in white. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my mango smoothie. Although you could leave the mango smoothie in if you wanted something really cute and you wanted to be able to see it. Yes. All of them? Yeah, we only have 4. One's at the store. That's why. Yes. Oh my God, it's my beloved Kai Mulligan. He's home. He got home yesterday and he's such a good boy. He's playing with the dogs right now. All right, let's go ahead and do the quilting stitch. It's 2 minutes of stitching, so if you have something else to do, go and do it. I already have white in here, and then we're just going to go ahead and follow the instructions. Stitch away. Right, there's your quilting stitch, and now it wants to do the placement stitch for, where are my instructions? I'm just like making it up because I don't have my instructions in front of me. Here they are. Okay, let's see what you have to do next. So once you're done with the quilting, it says go to part B, embroidery instructions, which are right here. And part B, step 1. Load the B embroidery file into the machine. We did that. Stitch the bottle placement line and place the bottle fabric right side up. First color that's going to make a difference is going to be shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and put shadow in right now. It doesn't say anything about a matching bobbin, so I'm not even going to bother with that. And then the fabric you're going to grab is going to be the polka dot fabric. And mine's already sprayed and ready to go. Shape flex on the back of this as per the instructions. Stitch the bottle placement line, place the bottle fabric right side up, and then we're going to stitch the bottle tack down line. Color doesn't make a difference, but I am using shadow for all of this. Make sure I covered the whole thing. I did. We're going to tack it down, and then you are going to go ahead and trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Here's our little picture right there. You can tape it down too. They use tape in their instructions. And then at this point, after you trim, you do want to put shadow in for sure. Color does make a difference. And you're going to stitch the bottle satin outline. This is a 9-minute stitch out. This is a very fast embroidery too. It's not super fast when you count, you know, the part A, but we already did. Don't you love that all the part A's are already done? You can just like grab them. And although I've been playing with the idea, do I need to redo one of mine because I trimmed, it said trim as desired, which it should say do not trim too close because it's going to fray. Because I trimmed it super close and then it frayed and it was too close to the edge to the stitch and it actually came undone. Maybe I'll just, I'll play with it. I'll just do a decorative stitch over it. Okay, slide that on. We are step number 3. Step number 3 says stitch the bottle satin outline and you're using shadow. After that, it says stitch the glass vinyl with label placement line. These stitches will be removed later, and you're going to do those in shadow. I'm kind of wishing that I did purple polka dot behind this. Oh, you know what? I had actually talked about doing this with the purple background. Let me grab it. So I'd wanted to do it with this purple background, and I forgot. So the one I'm stitching right now is going to be, I'm going to put this in the back, and then I will do it again, and I'm going to put this in the front. And maybe this one... This one I might just stitch Spooky Potion on top of this. Well, let me figure it out. I'm going to go ahead and we'll stitch this out exactly how it's supposed to be stitched, and then I'm going to do another one. So don't listen to me. I'm just babbling. Just prepping for another bottle. Now it wants you to Let's look at our instructions, read them carefully. Stitch the bottle satin outline. Stitch the glass vinyl with label placement lines. These stitches will be removed in shadow. If you look at your screen, it is showing you those stitches. They're just going to be corner stitches, which are going to tell you where to lay down your spooky potion right here. And then once you do these stitches, check the back of the vinyl for threads that may show through before placing. I've already done that and trimmed them all. Okay. Check one more time though. Place the glass vinyl with label made in part A right side up inside the placement line. Tape all the sides of the vinyl. So then we're going to place these in the placement line. Stitch the glass vinyl with label tack down line and remove the tape. Okay. So you want to get some of your transport tape. That's the best tape in the world. Not that I don't love Kimberbell tape, but transport tape is the best. We sell it at the store. It's just medical tape, but it just rips so nicely and it's super sticky. Okay, this is going to go right inside that placement line. And I'll just put a piece of tape on the top and the bottom. One here. I already used this before. That's why it has some dirty old threads on it. But I'll place it up there. And now it says stitch. Number 5, stitch the glass vinyl with label tack down line 1 and remove the tape. All right, here we go. Now, if you feel like your foot is too high too, I think it's going to be totally fine. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Love it. Is that like adorable or what? And now it says, insert as much confetti as desired in the opening between the label vinyl and the bottle fabric. Be sure all the confetti is at least ½ an inch below the top of the tack down line. So this is the top of the tack down line here. You want your confetti to be at least like below the spooky. And since I'm going to be doing 2 of these, because I'm going to put this one in the back because I really wanted to do this with purple and wasn't thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Let's put it in my lap. Okay. Insert. So remove the tape. Tape removed. And I just stick it on like the end of my table here and I'll end up reusing it. Because I'm a hoarder. I can't stop hoarding. Okay. And now we're going to drop this down in here. You got to make sure it goes kind of far in. Insert as much or as little as you want. Use a wood stylus to place the confetti. I don't have a wood stylus, but I have other things. Let's see what we're going to end up using. Oh my goodness. I love you. Vinyl. Part of me is like, should I cut like a little corner here and then I can pour it out like you would, you know how you do, like, frosting. You know what I mean? Let's do that. Let's cut it right here. We want to use all of it. And do I have something I can put in there? You know the best thing, of course. A chopstick. Hang on just a second. I have a stiletto too. And I have this. Oh my God, I have so many things I can use. Let's use, I don't want my stiletto because I don't want to. Here, we'll just do this. This is my point turner. Whoa! All right. I expect a mess. Did you see that come like pouring out? Once I... Okay. Just expect like orange confetti to just be in my sewing room for the next decade. Oh my goodness, this is fun. Fun and messy. And it's in like, they're bubbles and they're in like every single size. I say don't put the whole bag in. It's a lot. I think I'm going to do that. But more is more. If you don't get it all down there, the needle might hit it and it might break the needle. This is the back one. I'm going to save the rest for the front. Put it here. How do you get it all down there? What's the trick, my confetti friends? There's probably a trick to this that I don't know. I'm a little worried that it's not all the way down there. You're not going to believe this. I actually threw some pieces away. I did. And you want it to go below that line. Let's see. I'm a little worried because I have these on here. Should I just go slow and see if it can stitch through those? Is it me? Am I just like not a good confetti girl? Okay, that's what I have. Little pieces that are kind of stuck. I'm a little worried about it stitching down, but let's see where it stitches. So it says, insert as much confetti as desired. Be sure all the confetti at least half an inch below the top of the tack down line. Top is right here and, oops, are you seeing this? Top is right here and right here. Use a wood stylus to place the confetti. Stitch the glass vinyl with label tack down line 2. That's right here. Do you see how it's going here and here? So I'm thinking as long as you don't have it right here and here, you're going to be okay. But because mine is kind of stuck. Do you see that? Mine is not all where it's supposed to be. And I'm just going to push it out of the way. And then I'm not going to worry about it. There. I'm going to leave those little pieces. Let's put this back on. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And if you break a needle, you break a needle. If I break a needle, I break a needle. Okay? All right. Here we go. Don't be scared. And start. Plus, it looks kind of cute above, doesn't it? All right, what do the instructions say? Instructions say, I'm turning the page. That was step number 6. And so I think what you really have to be careful of is just making sure it's not going to be in that stitch line. If you're not totally below, that's going to be okay. Okay. Turn the page. We are in step number 7. Stitch the bottle cap placement line. Go ahead and just hit start. We're still using shadow. And where's my bottle cap? It's in my spray tent, which is across the... Whoops! Wait a minute. Were we supposed to trim? Where do we trim? Ah, there we go. Trim vinyl. I was looking at it going, that's not right. We stitched that down. Now it says trim the vinyl as desired. This is a raw edge applique and you will not have additional cover. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to have to remove those, whatever, 10 stitches that I put in. Let's go ahead and trim as desired. I'll probably leave about 1/8 of an inch. When it says as desired, you want your straight curved scissors or your curved straight. This curved, this straight. Oh, wait, that's curved. Let me find my curved straight. Let's try that again. Here we go. Here is your straight and curved. And that's going to give you more control in shaping it the way you want it to be shaped as you're trimming it. And we do have to remove these stitches right here. Okay, let's see if I can just pull that out. There we go. All right, now let's trim. Sorry about that. And I'm just gonna go right near the edge of the satin stitch. Trim your vinyl as desired. Oh my goodness. That orange, whatever that stuff is, the confetti is like so cute. I'm excited to do my purple one. And you know what? Whichever one looks best, that's the one that's going to go in the front. Did I grab my wrong scissors? I think I'm using my curved. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I'm like, that's not looking right to me. I'm sorry. Are you wondering what you're doing watching me? Okay. Bottle is done. I'm going to go back because remember I started this stitch already. That goes to the next. This goes back to the beginning of the step you're on. Now let's do the placement line. And the placement line is in shadow. Now we are on, let's make sure. Trim the vinyl as desired. We just did that. And now stitch the bottle placement line in shadow. And then we're going to place the fabric. Here's my little top. And now it wants you to stitch the bottle cap tack down line. So we just place that down. It's doing the tack down. And it didn't like that for some reason. Let me just go back a couple stitches. Wait, plus. We do need a good tack down. Ooh, so there's no thread on the top. -10. Let me rethread my upper. Okay, and then we're going to trim the fabric close to the stitch. Here's trimming it close, and then we're going to stitch the bottle cap decorative outline. So it is going through that vinyl down on the bottom. Don't forget, like that thread is going through that. That can cause your thread to break because it's going through that scratchy, icky stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and trim this. Curved for trimming. Curve straight for trimming as desired. And this is the perfect time for your snips, because I'm just doing one layer of fabric. And snips are great because you're just pinching. You kind of do want to get close because it's got that decorative stitch that, it's not a satin stitch. Okay, go ahead and hit start. And it is going to do the decorative stitch around the top of the bottle cap. Is this just so cute? It is so cute. So the only thing we're going to have to do after this is we do need to remove these stitches. You're not going to do the very last step, step number 15. Do not stitch that out. But we are going to remove these placement stitches. And there is our spooky potion bottle 1. Love. I have big love for this one. I mean, how can you not? Look at that. The little orange, what do you call that stuff? Don't pull out when you're pulling out these stitches. Make sure you're not removing the quilting stitch that's underneath, because it might overlap with some of these. Okay, what's so great about the rip and grip tweezers, the rip and grip tweezers, where are mine? I was using them. I gotta use them right now, because when you have like little things like this, you can just use the tweezer part to get that out. Here we go. So these are the rip and grip tweezers. They're made by Femore, and you know, you might struggle getting this out. That's when you grab these tweezers and you just like and this stuff down here. There's some stuff that you're gonna struggle with your tweezers. I mean, with your struggle getting it out with just the stitch remover part, and then you can throw your tweezers in there too. See, I could have never have like worked through that with just the seam ripper part. But when you have the tweezers too, see? What, you gotta watch out, because I have quilting stitches right under here that I don't want to get. See? You got the combination of the tweezers. I don't even know if you could see that, but it makes it so much easier. You're going to remove this too. You want it out. And I could pull it from the back too. There we go. See, you need the tweezers. And these are connected. What are we working on now? Is that all the homework? Okay, so I have a couple things to revisit. Number one, I have to redo Flying Geese number 1 because that, oh my God, the video was fantastic until I forgot to do the quilting stitch. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to redo this one because I want to do it on the purple fabric. And then I will do a video where I press and trim everything. So if you've never seen how to do that, or you want to see how I do it, because let me tell you, I do not, my way might not be the perfect way, but some of you aren't quilters like I am, so you're more open to me not being perfect. I know there's like old school's ways of doing things, and I often do not do those. I kind of just do it the way makes sense to my brain. Okay, these to me are a have to have. So if you don't have a pair of Rip and Grip, get them. I want to say they're like 20 bucks. You know how hard it is to get out this stitch right here because the it's like a locking stitch too. And so you keep poking it with your seam ripper and it doesn't come out. And then you're like, oh, I just pulled that whole thing out with my Rip and Grip. Yep, I sure did. And there is my spooky potion bottle. So I think we did, let's look at, so I'm going to make some changes in the spreadsheet. I'll go through and do that now. And like I said, I am going to go ahead and I will finish up. I'll do a second one of these, and I'm going to do a Flying Geese, and then I will post the video, and I will see you later. Well, should I? Yeah, I'm going to just post this one for now, and then I will post the other ones in a little bit. Bye.